Hi, I'm Charlotte, and I'm the oldest woman in the congregation. And my other claim to fame is I have known Ellis longer than anyone else here in the congregation, including Melinda. Anyway, so we've been through a lot. But one of the things I wanted to talk about, Ellis has been wanting me to speak. One of the things I wanted to talk about was how I ended up in this church. My husband and I arrived in the early 90s, and we knew that one of the things we wanted to do was to find our church home. We weren't concerned about what denomination. We were open to that. We just wanted to be where God wanted us to be placed there. And we decided that we would visit churches, and we didn't talk about it in between each visit. And we went to we went to the Episcopalian, to the Baptist, several Baptist churches, non-denominational, Nazarene, Lutheran. We visited all of them, and or most of them. And there's a lot of churches in Natchitoches. And the agreement was that on Easter Sunday, right before Easter Sunday, we would get together on where we were going to go. We didn't talk about it in between because we each wanted God to speak to us and we wanted. And we would go where we both agreed. And when the time came, he led us to this church. And the interesting thing was it wasn't even so much to the congregation or the pastor, it was to the actual location. God said, I want you to be there and I want you to stay there. And so we did. And that's how I arrived here. One of the places that we went, I don't remember what church this was, they sang "The Spirit of the Living God, Fall Afresh on Me." And they sang what I consider the politically correct version. Spirit of the Living God, fall afresh on me. Melt me, mold me, fill me, use me. And I thought, oh, well, that's not good. And when I got to this church, the sign really for me was they sang that same song. Spirit of the Living God, fall afresh on me. Break me, melt me, fold me, fill me. So if you take the break me off the front, you don't get to put use me on the back. It's just not going to happen. That's not the way God works. And Jesus, in his supper, the Passover supper with the disciples, took a loaf of bread and he broke it and he said, "This is my body." And then he broke it and he gave it to them to eat. And now we are his body. And until and unless we are ready to be broken, we will not be available to serve, to be food, to be nourishment to others, to his sheep. My mother used to make bread every Saturday, and it would come out of the oven lovely and smell great, looked wonderful, but until it was broken, it didn't nourish us. We couldn't eat of it. At least I felt when I really, really became filled with the Holy Spirit and fully sold out to him, I thought it was all going to be wonderful. And I thought I wasn't going to have any more problems. It was like I got on the Love Boat and discovered it was a battleship. Now, I'm not saying that you don't go through problems, because you will, but God is always there with you. He said, "I will never leave you or forsake you. In this world you will have tribulation, but I've overcome the world." And you can rely on that as long as you keep yourself in line with God.